Guatemala suffers from a lot of environmental problems, including air pollution. One of the main causes of this type of pollution are the gas emissions created by the oil stoves inside of the houses of rural areas. The question is, how can we reduce these harmful gas emissions created by the oil stoves due to the burning of wood? On a 130.66 pollution scale, Guatemala is at 69.65 in air pollution. This means it is 53% air polluted. Our hypothesis is that if the stoves from houses in the rural areas of Guatemala getting expensive air filters installed, then air pollution in these areas would decrease, because by installing these filters, the harmful emissions and polluted smoke production would be purified into clear and clean air. Research helped us understand from air pollution in Guatemala, air purifiers' effects, type of gas emissions, and many other things about gas emissions and air pollution in Guatemala. It is crucial to understand the type of gas emissions present in stove chimneys. This is called smog, which means smoke plus fog, and it is extremely bad for human health. Some of the gases included from chimneys are carbon dioxide, or CO2, carbon monoxide, or CO, sulfur dioxide, SO2, or nitrogen oxide, which is NOx. In this graph, you can see the global trend in gas emissions from NOx. Our procedure was to first create a small filter with a mini vent which changed the way the vent suctions the air. Then we produced emissions through the burning of wood and cooking oil. Then we put the filter on one of the tubes and secured it while leaving the other one uncovered. We put both of the tubes on top of the smoke producing the emissions, and then we measured the amount of emissions each one produced. We recorded our answers and did this for 2 more trials, with different times and different burning materials. The results and graphs of our science fair are displayed here in this graph. Also in this graph. Also in this graph.
Estoy contento y estoy agradecido porque a mí ya me sirve mucho, porque en cambio ahora voy a hacer mi tamal, voy a hacer mi almuerzo, pero de una vez va a cocer porque ese me está أنا كل بحكينا أتصدقها porque Cristina porque tu parna te estufa.
Conclusions. As tube length increases, the amount of milliliters of sodium hydroxide decreases. 2. When using a filter, the amount of milliliters of sodium hydroxide in the tube decreases. If inexpensive air filters were installed in rural areas of Guatemala, harmful emissions and smoke would be purified and reduced. When using different tube diameters, the emissions with no filter used more sodium peroxide and the emissions that were filtered used less milliliters of sodium peroxide. When the length of the tube reaches 50 inches, it can be inferred that a filter will no longer be needed, since the amount of milliliters of sodium hydroxide has reached 0.